Okay, Hyundai Santa Fe with a fuel leak. This is a 2018 model. It's a petrol 2.4 litre. You can see fuel all coming down the tank. So to investigate this, we need to locate the fuel pump. So we've got to get this seat out, which plastic covers off the front, and there's one bolt in each side at the front, and then in behind the seat, these covers here, you just sort of push them to the side and they'll come out. Then you've got a bolt under there, two bolts under there. I've already taken these ones out, so we're ready to lift that seat out. Okay, there's also actually just this little cable here with a 10mm bolt, just connecting it to the seat next door. So we will undo that, so then we can get the seat out. Okay, and then also in the front here you have this white plug that you need to also get this clip out, because the wiring is clipped to the bracket there. Okay, and then when you can lift the seat up a bit, there's a cable here. I've already got mine out, but there's a cable joins into this here that you'll see, so you need to release that as well. Okay, we've got our seat out now. Now we need to undo these 10mm bolts here, just so we can lift this ducting up out of the way, and under here is where we want to get to our fuel pump. Okay, so once you undo those two rear bolts for that duct, that'll just lift off. Okay, and then this round panel here actually just pries off. If you just use a tool, something like that, get underneath it, just pry it up. It's basically just sealed down. I'm just going to push this from it through to let that come back further. Okay, and you can see we've got a bunch of fuel down here. Okay, and it only leaks when it's full, and I would say that that pump locking ring is not fitted correctly. Looks like it's sitting up higher on this side. Okay, so we'll unplug this guy. It'll let us get rid of that. Okay, we're going to take this off, which will be pinching the buttons in the side. So if you push it down a little bit, pinch the buttons in the side, watch out for fuel pressure. Cool. Always got to be careful with these plastic fittings. Pays actually to have gloves on while you do this too. Should have thought of that. Petrol's no good on your hands. But yeah, if the car's been running recently, it'll be under pressure, so safety glasses as well. And now that that's off, we're going to grab our special tool for undoing these rings, and we'll loosen this off, see what's going on. Okay, so this is the special tool we have in the workshop for doing these, that fits onto these little lugs. If you're a DIYer at home, you're not going to have one of these tools. Something like a really big pair of poly grips or something like that is normally enough to get a grip around the outside to turn this ring. But of course, because we've got the tool, we are going to use it because it makes life a lot simpler. So yeah, just check the description as well. If I can find one of these on Amazon, I'll put a link in the description for it, just in case you do want the tool. This tank is very full because we asked her to fill it right up for us so we can see where it leaks, since it only leaks when it is full. Okay, so we've got our O-ring here. The O-ring looks alright, feels alright. I wouldn't expect too much to be wrong with it. This shorter time down the track from manufacture. We're just going to give this a good clean up in here, get rid of all this excess fuel around the outside, and then we're going to screw this back down and just make sure that it seats properly and that the thread is not stripped on the plastic ring. Just make sure it tightens down properly, and then we'll take it for a drive and just make sure it's not going to leak. Okay, so just be mindful too, fuel one needs to be disposed of appropriately, and also if you're using a rag at all to soak up fuel, there is a risk of that rag spontaneously combusting further down the track, so don't go and throw it in the rubbish bin. Okay, what you need to do is give it a good rinse out with water and then leave it to dry somewhere where, like, you know, in the middle of a concrete pad or something, where if it were to catch on fire it's not going to do any damage. There have been a number of stories of people getting a fuel soaked rag, just throwing it in the bin and then catching on fire further down the track. Slot our O-ring back on there. Ooh, okay. Okay, so quick tip, put your pump back in first and then clean up around the edge, because there is quite a bit of displacement that takes place. So I'm going to have to clean all around the edge of this again to get rid of all the fuel that I just pushed out putting the pump in. Okay. And just when you put this down, so in here, see there's a little notch just there, and if you feel around under here you'll feel the notch, the little lug that's going to fit into that. Just make sure you line those up so that it will press down into place properly, and then our ring can go down. Just take your time getting the ring started, because they can be hard to get them to start on straight. That's probably what's gone wrong with this in the past. He's just whacked it down when it hasn't been straight, and it hasn't sealed. Okay, so we've got that all tightened back down now. See how much flatter it looks with this ring. Looks like it's all threaded on properly now. So basically we're going to reconnect this line, put our plug back in, and then we will drive it. We will leave all the seat out and this cover off, take it for a drive with the tank nice and full, and just make sure as it sloshes around it's not going to leak anymore. And we'll take it up a hill and stuff just to change the angles and just make sure that that has fixed the leak. Okay, so we've been for a good long drive now and we are all dry around here. Okay, so we're all sealed up. Now we're just going to put this cover back in place, and then we'll wash the fuel tank underneath and then pull this cover back up just to clean away any water from in here, and then reassemble it and it's good to go. So that is a fuel leak from the tank area on a 2018 Hyundai Santa Fe. Okay, I hope that has helped you out today. Don't forget to click the like button and also click the subscribe while you're there. We've got a bunch of diagnostic solutions and tips and tricks for professional mechanics like ourselves, and also for the serious DIYers at home. So click that subscribe and the bell so you get notified, and we will see you in the next video.